and I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold forged to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire.
The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better? to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be right when I wait to say anything, a superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. You called my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop me from hitting the ground. And every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be right when I wait to say anything, a superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. Oh, oh, and when I fall to be right when I wait to say anything. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. And I look beyond. feel it wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water.
souls began to intertwine. Your heart of gold, so pure, divine. And I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold, forged to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire. On this journey we will find our souls begin to intertwine. Your heart of gold, so pure, divine. And I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold, forged to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire.
The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me more? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me more? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to thee, will be there when I wait to save me, a superhero in your a superhero in your wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. And I look behind. It's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness is my old friend. You get me at the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. Ah, I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you get me at the end.
Is here the cut for the smoke. Exists, he doubles up. Can he get the triple?
everybody, and welcome back to the Legion African Cup, brought to you by Legion by Lenovo. My name is Arshi, and I'm going to be hosting this tournament. I'm brought here with two amazing analysts. You've met them already, but let me introduce them to you once more. We have Sami, aka Flip, and we have Adam, aka Hope the Beast. How are you guys doing this fine evening?
Wonderful.
How about you?
Doing
How are you
amazing.
doing?
I'm doing amazing, waiting, and excited for the games today.
Are you hyped? Super hyped for the games that
Very
we're going to
hyped.
get
I'm
today?
actually very hyped, yes.
I
Not
think
hype.
not
Ah,
hyped.
yes, sorry. I'm not hyped.
I'm not hype.
You're not hyped.
We are not
Yes.
hype.
Why is that? Why are we not hyped?
You have to ruin the reverse psychology once again.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, this is
You
different.
cannot manage.
That's different. We can be hyped. It doesn't matter. We're not saying how the games are gonna go, right? So we can be excited.
No.
That's not part of the curve.
Actually, we're very excited, and I'm really looking forward to see how the game's gonna go today.
Definitely, especially since yesterday we had some very exciting games. We had X Gaming versus Illicit Esports, and as we knew, X Gaming was a returning team from South Africa, but unfortunately they were not able to get the win against Illicit Gaming. And we had Regicide Gaming versus ATK, and that game was
Amazing.
just purely amazing. Could you give us a bit of a recap about what happened yesterday?
To recap, the first match we started with Illicit and X Gaming. They lost X Gaming with the wild card. We were expecting for a very tough game from X Gaming. However, they didn't actually do the job. Coming to the second game with ATK, I've loved how the game went. You see, at the round 14-10, you remember I told you it's gonna be a comeback. However, it was
Yes.
not. Yes, I understand this can be frustrating for the opposite team. However, ATK really handled it really well. I told you, ATK is a very good team. They are going to win this. They're gonna get it in the bag. I loved how the matchup went. I love how it's going so far in the series. South African and the Kenyan Nigeria are doing really great. I love how it's starting, how it's going, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see really good talents coming up from the both regions.
Here's hoping that we do get really spicy games today as well. But before we go any further, let me remind you guys about the $50 that is up for grabs to be added to your Steam wallet. All you have to do is go on gaming.lenovo.com, and you can either post a clip from the broadcast or you can go and vote for your favorite team. And while you're there, make sure that you browse around for different offers. So, Sammy, I want to ask you something directly for you. Since you are a CSGO esports player and you're so used to, the tournament lifestyle and all that. So, if I were to ask you if you would want to play in a LAN tournament or an online tournament, which one would you prefer
LAN,
and why?
Of course, LAN. LAN brings out all the best in you. LAN shows you if you're a true player or not. LAN, you are playing against the crowd, whether the crowd is with you or against you. And LAN is, how do I say it? LAN is, it's a server, LAN, offline server. This, it shows if you're a good player or not. Online, you're playing in your natural home, in your natural
Your
environment,
comfort zone.
comfort zone.
True.
To go to LAN is to actually go out of your comfort zone. Here, it shows the true skills.
Well, hopefully, since our players are at home and possibly in their pajamas right now, they'll be able to show us real CSGO good
But
CS.
let me explain to you one thing about this tournament. We
Please
have
do.
a few really good teams. We know they have come to LAN. We know they have played abroad. So for them to actually play online and maybe do much better than LAN, it's normal. It's all right for them. However, there are some teams we want to see them actually in LAN in the
Yeah.
future. So it will show their true skills because they are new. They are new players. Maybe they just this is their first tournament. So we would like to see a mixture of that.
Definitely, we'd really love to see that, especially if they progress in this tournament and we can see different aspects of them. And speaking of the tournament, let's check out the tournament schedule. And firstly, we have the qualifier schedule, and we've already completed it for Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, and South Africa. And we are currently doing Kenya and Nigeria. Our first day was on the 20th of December. Our second day is today on the 21st of December, and we have tomorrow as the last day of the qualifier schedule on the 22nd of December. And after that, of course, is the playoff schedule. We have 3 days as well, day 1, 2, and 3. Egypt, Morocco, and Tunisia will be on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of December, while for South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria will be in the new year, the 10th, 11th, 12th of January. And after that, we have the final schedule, which will be consisting of the quarter, semi, and the finals. Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia will be on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of January, while for South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria will take place on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of January. And for the grand finals, the grand finale, where any region could be competing, we have it on the 20th of January. So everything that we're working on today, that's the reason why we have all these regions coming in is because it's anyone's game. It's anyone's game from any region. And if I remember correctly, you told me that the regions we'd be seeing were Egypt and South Africa. So based on yesterday's games, do you change your answer? Because we did see one game that was purely from Kenya and Nigeria. Do you think that ATK Gaming could possibly,
So far, I would not change my mind. So far.
so far,
Coming into the
not
season,
convinced?
ATK Gaming actually focuses more in this period of time on practicing and scrimming together and build, like, create a good chemistry. I think we can have a little bit of surprise because they showed us that they can play good CS. They know how to play CS. Are they there yet to be able to compete for other good teams? This is what we're waiting for, and this is what we're hoping to see.
Well, speaking of surprises, let me show you the prize pool and how shocked you're going to be from how big those numbers are and how big our juicy prize pool is. We have for first place $12,000 whopping dollars. For second place, we have $5,000. And for third place, it is no small sum. It is $3,000. So in order to strive for, first, second, or third is just huge. It's no easy feat. It's nothing that you shouldn't brag about. If you get third place, you shouldn't even be upset about it because it's just something that we are including so many regions with. They should be proud that they managed to get in the top 3. And do you think that they would be demotivated not making the top 3, or do you think that
tell
they
you
would
one thing.
stop competing?
let me explain to you one thing. The most important thing in any sport, esports, whether it be or sports, real sports, playing to create a legacy is more important than any prize ever. Whether it's 12,000, 5,000, 100,000. My number one target to come at any tournament is to be number one. It's not to be number 2 or number 3. I will aim to always be reaching in the final and win the tournament. Why? Because my team will be known as a top contender. We won the last 10 tournaments. This is how I want people to remember.
I somehow disagree with you about this,
Go ahead.
Mr. Sam.
Go ahead.
I believe, especially for the teams who actually plays the tournament for the first time or the second time, they should go in not focusing on the win, but to build the chemistry inside the tournament between the team. Yes, you should target getting the finals. If it doesn't work out the first time or the second time, this shouldn't demotivate you. This actually should motivate you for the next time. You should learn from your mistakes.
True. I agree with this. However, my main target is actually to reach the finals and win. If I lose, I would definitely reassess and talk with my team and see what went wrong, what are our mistakes. We talk about them, we fix them, and then we go a much better team the next tournament.
All right. Well, here's hoping that everyone's trying really hard to get the win. And let's get reminded once more about the regions that we're going to be seeing today. So it's going to be Kenya and Nigeria, as we said before. We've seen very few games so far, so it's very hard to judge. All we've been doing is judging purely on logos, but yes. So these are the team names that we have for Kenya and Nigeria region. X Gaming, as we saw, had the second chance yesterday, but unfortunately we're not able to get the win. And I have to point out that Zero Hacks is also a South African team that is getting a chance for tomorrow for our third day. So do you think that perhaps they're going to get stomped? I would say, I don't want to make too much pressure and say stomped, but do you think that they would lose their opportunity for winning like X Gaming did, or do you think Zero Hacks has a better chance?
Honestly, it all depends on how they're gonna come back to this tournament. If they're gonna come back confident, they learn from their mistakes, we're gonna see a different Zero Hacks. If they're coming back not ready, not being able to work on their mistakes, then we're gonna see another lose for them.
All right. Well, hopefully they can bring us what X Gaming lacked to bring us. But what advice would you give, besides that to Zero Hacks to ensure that they would get the win? Would you suggest that they would play Inferno, your favorite map, and show the utility skill, or would you tell them to play it safe and just rely on their aim?
I think they should just play in the map they're comfortable in. It doesn't necessarily be Inferno. They might be comfortable in Nuke. They might be comfortable in Overpass. They should try to go to their comfort map that they can, 5 of them, play confidently.
All right. Well, here's hoping that they play with confidence, with style, with aim. And now let's take a look at the games that we have for this week from Kenya and Nigeria. Our first day, we already witnessed X Gaming versus Illicit Esports, with Illicit Esports taking the win. And we have Regicide Gaming versus ATK, our very, very close and exciting game. And ATK Academy managed to snipe the win from Regicide Gaming. And Goliath Gaming, unfortunately, their opponents forfeit, so they automatically get the point. And for day 2, which is today, we have the Flying Crushers versus the VYBN Esports. That's our very first game of today, which we'll be witnessing very soon. Then we have the Killer Mavericks versus Royalty and DNMK Esports. Their opponents also forfeited, so they automatically get the point. And for tomorrow, of course, Zero Hacks, the wild card winners from South Africa, will be against Terra Esports. And the Z Councils versus the King Guards. So we do have a very, very nice lineup still coming, still getting to know Kenya and Nigeria. And we're just hoping that they can bring the same style and the same pleasant surprise that South Africa brought us.
So far, we have seen really full of surprises since we've seen South Africa the last week. And coming into this week after yesterday, we have seen some nice surprises, actually. I'm not going to lie. However, it's not changing my mind as to who's going to be in the final. It's going to be Egypt versus South Africa, unless these 2 days are going to be like a roller coaster of games, of really upsets, then I'm willing to change my mind, and I will let you know that on the third day.
Well, I don't know if this is going to change your mind, but we do have news about the map, and I'm happy to inform you that it is not Inferno, but it is unfortunately a map that we have seen before. It is Mirage, but at least
The public map.
it's the public map. So, what do you have to say about that?
I think it's gonna be a good game because the reason to that is everyone knows how to play Mirage. Everyone knows the basic rotations in this map. It's the only map that hasn't been changed since the launch of CS:GO, I think.
So there's
So-
no excuses from
So
either
there's no
side.
excuses. You don't know the map or you don't play it. There's no excuse. I think we're gonna see a close fight in the game.
A close fight in the game from
Close
both
fight.
sides. So we're relying on both of their skills on a map that has been there for a long time, and the only thing that we can judge them on is, what you would say?
How well they take middle, the T side. How well do they take middle? I would like to see really 2 things: is when the T side take mid, and then when the CT counters and retake middle from them. That's what I would like to see.
All right. Well, I have a bit more information for you as well. We have VYB, and they're the ones who actually won the knife round, and they chose CT side.
It's normal. It's normal.
So this is something you agree with.
Yes,
So would you agree with that, host,
Yes,
as
I
well?
do
So
agree.
both of you would. what-
finally.
so
I
what-
mean, it actually depends if I'm playing with a team who's practicing, a team who's confident in T side, because I usually love starting T side. Depends, of course, on which map. But like Mirage, I'd prefer to start in T side.
you prefer to start in
I
T side.
prefer to start in T side if I am fully
So you disagree?
confident about. You can say so, but
They might practice.
I'm confused here. So T side or CT side? Which one do you pick?
I don't mind both. But I prefer, I think T side. I actually prefer T
I think what you're trying to tell us is that you'll win either way. It doesn't matter. If
Exactly,
you're on
it doesn't
T
matter.
side,
Both
CT
ways, I'm just
side,
trying
we
to
can get it. It doesn't matter. So essentially, you think T side will have more benefits, while Sammy would think CT side.
CT side actually might work. If
Might
I
work.
have a team that's actually practiced long time, I would go. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these teams are playing after I saw last night's games. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them practice, so I would go with CT side.
Mirage is a map that, whether your team practices or not, is a map that they're gonna show us good games. That both teams can show us good games.
To add a note to that, coming into this region, I've seen some very patient plays, very default textbook style gaming. And I'm sure this is what I like to see in Mirage. To actually take your time, take control of the zones
Mhm.
at ease, slowly with each other. That's what I'm gonna see for sure.
Well, hopefully that's what we're going to see. And we're going to move on to your favorite part of the pre match analyzation, the logos. Reveal the logos. We have Flying Crushers, as we said, versus BYEN Esports.
I love Flying Crushers logo.
It's very patriotic.
Yes.
Very patriotic logo versus.
Looks deep. If you think about it, it looks deep.
Oh, it looks deep.
Yes.
Okay.
Like it has a, it's a map of our region.
Uh huh.
Think about it that I'm representing this country. It's deep. There is emotions in this
There.
logo.
Oh, I can feel that. I can feel. I think we're doing. We're just analyzing art right now.
Yes,
We're like,
exactly.
yes, you see that you
Art
can.
analyzers, huh?
It represents the struggle that they have against the economy, and so you're really going in depth with this one. So can I assume that you're gonna predict Flying
Flying
Crushers
Yes.
are gonna be winning?
Indeed it is.
What about you, Sammy? What do you think?
Let's go Flying Crush.
Flying Crushers
Why
as
are you
well.
copying me?
I love to copy you.
I mean, okay, I understand in CSGO.
Come on.
Now even in a
But look at that cute astronaut on top of their logo.
I'm not
no,
feeling.
no
BYBN.
disrespect to the logo. Of course, it looks beautiful, but I feel Flying Crushers has more emotions into the logo.
More emotions.
Yes, I love emotions.
It speaks
logo.
for itself.
Like,
The
it
art
speaks.
speaks
The
for
art
itself.
speaks in this logo.
I mean, our analysts, they're good at CSGO and they're good at art. I mean, they can analyze both. They can do it all. That's what it is. Okay, so if you were to have your own logo, since you guys have a lot to say about logos, what would your logos be? I'm going to put you on the spot here, so everyone's going to be judging you right now. What would your logo be?
An island inside a big ocean, like big waves inside the ocean.
Oh, we're already getting poetic,
Yes,
I feel.
Yeah. The island is strong,
The island
being
is strong.
alone, yeah, strong, not being destroyed from the more strong waves. You think about it.
What about you, Sammy? Any
My
ideas
logo?
for your logo?
I will draw a character like a cartoon of
Okay.
hope.
Okay,
Put it as the logo.
like an idol. Like,
Yeah.
this is our idol. This
my
is who we
idol.
look up to.
My idol.
All right. Well, we're not going to take too much time talking about potential logos. We have news that the match is indeed ready. So we're going to move it on to a lighter in goals to our casters. Take it away, guys.
Welcome back to the Legion African Cup. It is myself and Goals once again taking you through week 2, day 2. Goals, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, feeling good. Looking good. Looking forward to some more Counter-Strike. I think it's good. We've got some juicy matches, good teams in front of us to watch. So looking forward to seeing what CS gets played today. Another Mirage. I'm really hoping that we get another map, man. I'm dying for like a Dust 2. Something else, but obviously Inferno Mirage being the most common map we're seeing it again on Mirage here today. But yeah, I mean, just to get onto the game at hand, I think Five and Esports is probably looking like the favorite for me. And looking forward to the game, Stools.
Yeah, Flying Crushers. Don't know much about that roster or that lineup or the achievements of the year, so we'll find out what they have in store. It's going to be vibing on the CT side. They won the knife round and decided to elect for that. Mirage, very CT side. Not very CT sided, a bit of a 9-6 CT side, so if they get off to a good start, a cracking start, it's going to be tough for the Flying Crushers. But once again, we don't know what they have in store. We don't know who their star players are, so we'll find out shortly. But just looking at the South African team so far that have been through the qualifier stage, I'd say a lot of them are quite strong. A lot of them are dominant. We haven't really seen much of other regions, so really interested to see what transpires in the playoffs and ultimately the finals weekend. So a lot of CS in store for us in the next coming weeks. We'll be taking a short break after Wednesday to let the South Africans just celebrate Christmas a little in the rest of the regions, and then we'll be back next year quite early. So yeah, it's gonna be a good first quarter for the year for sure for Counter-Strike.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. And it's a nice way to start or end off and start the year, And yeah, really looking forward to seeing what's in store for us in the playoffs for sure. It seems we just heard we are going to jump into the game shortly, guys. Looking forward to it. But as you said, not too much known about Killer Crushers. But let's do a quick introduction here from their side. We do have Storm, Dark Heart 234, Adam, not the other Adam we spoke about this I think before, and Zarmaki and Baby Shock. Do. And then we've got Vibenese, the Custom, Janky, Frozen, Tuckball. These are all players that you should know if you follow the stuff in the scene as well. They are a really good team. But here comes the speed breach, and right now flashes are good. Side is being swarmed completely now, and see terrorists swarming all over the side. Util is really good. Some isolated duels coming through from the CTs, and it is the Ts that win the trade war. 4 versus 2. The bomb is down. It's just Custom and Tianki left, waiting for Jules, waiting to isolate any of these remaining T players. But what a breach coming out of Flying Crushes here. Deagle shot perfect onto Custom's head, but Tianki responds and deals with that player towards Cost. Box 1 towards Pillar, but eventually it is Dark Art 2, 3, 4 that picks that cute angle to take the fight on. And 1-0 Flying Crushes. As my the words went cold off my tongue, and yeah, we're talking about how Viben are the favorites here, and straight away, just like that, Flying Crushes strike and take the pistol.
Yeah, my oh my, it looked good. A little smoke for windows, some flashes. The entry frags did everything for me. Once they got the entry frags, it felt they can be comfortable setting up the post plant. So looking to compound on this round. Flying Crushes. Oof. Man, Baby Shark really dealing with some good damage. Tight angle to collect the headshots, but the flashes come to the middle, and it's a swarm of CT players, but they get dealt with. Just one player dropping on the side of Flying Crushes. Last 2 players lately, Tuckbok. Should be pretty tough for them to try and navigate themselves. If they get one more kill, they've done a good job. Adam cares not. They lose 3 players, so Viben, I think it's a good job so far. Gonna make that 3rd round come up be that much more important. But the bomb is down, and I think lately maybe he should be picking up a Galley. Looking at his HP, it's gonna be tough. A nice off angle from Storm as well. I wonder where these players are from. Nigeria or Kenya? Because I definitely don't know them in the local scene for sure. Ooh. I think he was going for the knife or what? Pretty wild. Pretty wild scenes coming up. Flying Crashes. Really strong start. Vibing. Got a bar round on their hands.
Yeah. I mean,
to reverse the role.
It's definitely going to be a big investment. A nice little round there to kill through. We'll get rid of 3 rifles now, and see it's a pretty even kind of economic game. If you look at the util that's being purchased and the guns that are across the board, you see a standard default coming out, some mid-control being engaged with more of an A presence as well, not really anything towards that B side. You can see quite the presence towards this A side. Middle has been taken. Things settled down, tools, and it's what you'd expect to see, but it looks like Flying Crushes can definitely play the game here.
Yeah, 100%. Baby Shark, first to take contact, opens up the scoreboard for Flying Crushes. Dark's gonna pop a flashbang, perhaps to create a detour. Middle has been pressured as well. They know exactly where it is, but touchdown Kobe from Frozen. He's looking to get out of there. The brunt of the attack is coming out the A ramp, so bit of work for Custom to come out, and Frozen's there just in time. Tuckbok does go down supporting, and that's just 2 players remaining. And Adam, is this the ADM or the Adam? Seems like all of them are quite proficient with that aim, and it's Tianki's to coming from the side and create himself the 1 versus 1. Opts to take high ground here, stares and continues the pressure onto Darkheart, and there we go. Tianki wins up the clutch to give them the 1st round on the board and to just chip away at it and keep this game quite competitive. You don't want to let Flying Crushes run away with the lead at 0-5. It's quite important, and especially in a best of 1.
Yeah, that was a great recovery coming out of Tianki there, just able to keep it calm, cool, collected, confidence with these peaks, his steps, his motions, and ultimately closes out the round, which looked very favored towards the Flying Crushes. But again, like we said, Viben have got those dangerous players that very, very strong, mechanical legends of the game, sort of players that can handle those situations with ease, with calm to them. But yeah, you see a full fake towards middle. Gonna throw that up amid smoke and now set up towards that A-bomb side. I think it's gonna just be a straight up exec here. They realize that they saw quite a response there from the middle in the previous round, and now they're gonna set up to take A. Standard smokes getting thrown across the board, but some sort of retake setup being used. But surely the numbers will be able to be rotated over to this A-bomb side very shortly. They should know that this is coming in. They've got complete mid control. Someone's going to be on the flank very, very soon. First field kill goes the way of the defense. They are going to just play in very passive positions. You can see Frozen looking to see if he can pick a few off. He gets quite a few little free contact duels and doesn't get taken out or punished for it. And 3 versus 4 now, and Storm is just going to run straight through the CT smoke. He's a bit lost, and he gets onto the box and he gets the kill. That is disgusting. 3 versus 3, and he gets out there as well, but gets banned through, and now and hold down the side. 2 versus 2 now, looking for that sort of information. Lately is on that flank. They should not expect him from here. He gets the first kill, caught by surprise, and they should be knowing that the last player is Ducky, and it is in fact Tuckbok takes that wide range peak duel and settles it down for UIBN Esports, and 2 for 2 now. Strong little comeback we're seeing from them, and really slaughtering these set breaches or set pieces coming from Flying Crushers.
Just trying to imagine the reactions from Vibe and Esports. They've never played this team before, and I definitely think they've been caught off guard a bit, but they're holding on to the reins quite strongly at the moment, winning back-to-back rounds. That economy needs to start building though if they want to just retain the reinvestment, just to have a good defense coming out. But they got an eco to work with, so hopefully they don't lose too many players. Flying Crushers. Really impressed with Adam so far.
Yeah, some technique in the name for sure. Just stepping and clicking those heads, love to see it. I'm gonna complain seeing those, but yeah, as you said, been really invested in this round. Frozen having some nice aggressive peaks there towards the middle area, and just getting a couple of confidence frags in. Always love to take those duels at range and do the damage that needs to get done. But again, not too much to be expected here out of Flying Crushers for this round. Perhaps want to take away a rifle or two, perhaps compound a little bit of that pressure on that economy. But right now in the driver's seat are UIBN Esports, getting that CT side start that they would usually want. And of course, a confident map for them. You know, these guys again have got loads of competitive experience and have certainly been in crazy tournament situations before.
Of course.
With the
I mean, talking about custom, Frozen, Tuckbok, they've all played the highest levels as Frozen, and lately they haven't really been there, but Frozen showing some good promise. Kind of an aggressive player, likes to take the lead in front in terms of taking contact. He's the main AWPer, holds a big green gun for Vibe and plays with confidence too. Some nutty aim at that. And lately, I think he's the player who needs to show us more. He's been proficient, he's played alongside some of the greats, so I'm sure he's got some experience from then. Mid control coming out. Woo! Yeah, Frozen just lingering a bit too much. I think he's playing with the A4, so the bullet traces are more obvious than the A1. Made it a bit easier to spam him back. That's Baby Shark hunting down his prey lately. Just caught with too many men in front of him, so it's down to 10 keys to anchor this B site and a good off angle to play with. Here's the farmer's limited with bullets. Has to bob and weave, finds the second play on the side. Yeah, it's a good defense coming out of Ivan thus far. It's just Dark Heart and a 2 versus 1. Tuckbok isn't low HP, so if he can find custom, the ball has been made. He's crossed, so he needs to find some of these isolated tools. He finds the first, but custom is there. He had more of the HP, so the odds were in his favor, 4-2.
That was really close, man, and yeah, Flying Crushers really getting some good picks there on that side, just pounding on the pressure there, getting that first pick towards middle, opens up middle, fast reaction towards Cat. Suddenly they're wrapping on B, putting that B sides under pressure, and just unlucky and unfortunate not to get the last frag there. But again, just talking about that economy on the CT side here, not much in it. So this is a huge round here, and we see it's quite a bit of pace now coming on the side of Flying Crushers. They're quickly just bursting onto the A side, but that grenade is going to do damage. One person gets taken out already through the smoke, and now they're going to barrel into that side. You can see the mollies and all the equipment heading through onto the side, and this is going to be an absolute slaughter. But no, the side does actually go down to oh my god, it's Adam. That is disgusting. I mean, that was certainly unexpected, to say the least.
Disgusting.
That has changed. That was disgusting. That was some of the best P250 sequences I've seen in a long time. And he's going to continue to check. Can we get the P250 ace? No.
Woo! Frozen. It's still a bit scary, I think, for Viben. And they're surviving with one player back-to-back rounds, so the economy isn't looking good. So as soon as Flying Crushers get reinvesting into some proper riflery, have all the bells and whistles, maybe an AWP. We haven't seen who the main AWPer is yet, so a bit more information should come out when that starts getting bought. But they need the economy for that. And it's Baby Shark. And double AWP, that's quite surprising on the T side. quite irregular. I haven't seen that much.
Double or peak, they're both just going to go for shots around the map, and here we go. First peak goes the way Rosen gets taken out, and now he's bunny hopping towards him. Surely you heard the play there. Knows he's close to absent. First pick goes the way of Flying Crushes. Huge pick from Uzumaki there, for sure. Oh, but big nade. Catches it square.
Huge nade, and it's Tuckbok. Tuckbok is known for his good nade usage. He's always able to mechanically get that nade where it needs to be, so it's custom warping and spawn, and he finds the first, evens the scoreboard out, but the trade does come through from lowers. Looking good so far. They are going to be splitting the A side, but the bomb needs to be retrieved first. It's Custom just playing with his opponent. He swings for cat and gets that trade, and that's one of the arms of the attack being deleted, but the lurk. Tuckbox so aware! He's so aware. Furthers the advantage. Now they're going to be doubling back, so it might be Uzumaki to create a difference there. Diversion for Storm to move into that B side, but there's 3 members. You never rotate until you see the bomb, is the usual phrase. Where does he spot something? A bit too open, so it's going to be Tianki's from the B side. I think using all the angles he has to work with, it's going to be pretty hard for Storm to get it back. He needs to land an instant headshot, but Tianki shows himself a bit too early and loses out on that duel. That creates an opportunity for Storm to try clutch it. It's going to need to be some clean headshots though, up against Custom with an AWP. And Tuckbok is coming through high ground. I think this should be unexpected, but Custom finishes it off, and at least it's getting better. The previous round was 1, but now it's 2 surviving for Vibe, and that's going to be the 6th round on the board.
Yeah, very close rounds here, and we're going to start the round there as well. I think one of the first rounds that Flying Crushes were able to actually get the first and opening pick, and I mean, the last round that they did it, I think they were able to pretty much almost win the round there on short, but they get that first pick, but don't really make much of it or convert much from it, and slowly but surely, VYB and esports are just putting on the rounds, putting on a clinic here, and starting to open up that gap a little bit. And Flying Crushes, man, got a feel for them. Oh, the double op setup again, tools. I don't know if I agree with it. This is the first time they employed it last round as well, so it's a huge investment for them. No util as well. Huge, quite a bit of sacrifice in the util at least to purchase those. Oh, taking a little bit of damage towards that window area. Now we see, Flash Peak not successful there. We do see first frag going the way of the Armenian Sports. A beautiful pick there from Spawn, and he's instantly traded though. 4 versus 3 now. Lately going to be looking towards this cat area, get a bit more information about positions.
Yes,
We do have this mid
you
control.
start to see, I think at this point, the AWP stop becoming redundant. I think that's the argument against it. If you don't land those opening kills, it becomes a lot tougher. Mobility is lessened to the multi-kill ability. Isn't as easy that comes by from a rifle. They're going to be dropping the bomb down and Spawn. There's 34 seconds left, so I don't understand the theory behind that. I think just double checking it. He's going to head back to the B side. Got some work on his hands, and he loses out on the quick flick. Baby Shark, sharp as ever. It's frozen to work with. The AWP is proficient. You need to land some tough shots, but Adam, look, I think when you look at the cases for the double AWP, this could be in the case study, I'd say. But lately, definitely would have wanted to finish off that door. Adam gets alive barely with his life. Lately has an inkling that there's a player sitting in connector. Uzumaki is a bit pressured, and lately he's going to move on to the side. No one's got him just yet. I think Tianki needed to be there a bit sooner, or lately needed to wait a bit, but Tianki standing tall. Best to win this out. It's not planted. It's not pleasant for Uzumaki, so
win.
Tianki, there should be a round for him. Oh my goodness. Wow. A bit of a misplay coming up from Flying Crushes. And again, that's the double AWP, right? He has an AK. It becomes a bit easier to win out that duel while Turnkey crosses to side.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that retake becomes extremely difficult. Like they're so focused on one player, both miss the shots with that AWP, or they go for the same player. That is, and that just opens up a huge gap for Tianqi. Just easily isolates those duels, takes those frags, and again, these players are of that caliber. Talking about years and years of experience, yeah, they're playing that situation as cool as a cucumber. But anyway, back into this round now. Fast middle control is coming out from the T's. This is about as strong as rifle mid presence as you can see, and they are reduced back into that one AWP kind of structure. But you see now. Oh, pop flash coming through. Smoke kill through the smoke, and there's another no. Traded out. It's a back and forth exchange. 4 versus 4 still. Nothing to write home about, but yet middle control has been established, and that opens up that cat area. You can see window control is the focus here for the flying crushers, but now they're going to settle and let things down. But this is the problem lately. Coming through this spawn position, and is that the bomb there? No.
It is the bomb. In fact,
It is. That's
it's crazy because they have all the control towards the sides, but there's just too many angles to work with. But the bomb second seems to be an afterthought rather than initial. Uzumaki high ground and ups, but I'm not too sure what the idea is through all of this, because the purpose is to get the bomb down on the side, not to clear the site out, then to realize you need the bomb, you need the package. Even if they wanted to go for all the frags, right? It's still not going to work out due to the inferior numbers on their side, 2 versus 4. And now that's the thought. Now that's the realization that's finally struck. But Leighton's in such a good position here. He needs to win out these frags now, easy as you'd like. He's gonna pop a Molotov down.
no,
Pretty much
that's
just
right.
forfeit the bomb and they'd still win it at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an absolutely free round. You can see that he's got the reinforcements, but they can probably just double peek him. That's what the spawn. They should actually just let him die after time, if anything. But I mean, building up that cash with that SMG, not a bad decision either. Pick up that AWP, cool as you'd like. And yeah, man, BYB and esports really showing up here. Beautiful place, textbook stuff. You could see how reluctant the CTs were in taking those duels. They knew they had absolutely no business taking. They no need to risk the round with lately having that bomb, and it's played it to perfection. That, my friend, is definitely out the textbook. Page 5, brilliant play there by lately, and the rest of the YB and esports now 8-2, and now you see this Deagle buy, or this little economic save from the side of Flying Crushers now, and Pop Flash Peak is going to be the goal of the game. A beautiful spam. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Wild. All right, he knows his lineups, I guess. But ultimately,
Yes.
Frozen stuck in a bit of a pickle here. Utility will get him out, but what's coming back to bite Flying Crushers is that double AWP they had in 2 rounds. Customs making a case of it. Perhaps in hindsight, they'll come to the realization too. And it's not like they picked up the second AWP, because that's the only reason you usually see the double AWP. But Frozen, tight angle there to hit that shot. He's quick with the flick, but unable to land. Dark, hot. The danger man for Flying Crush. He's got the AK and Storm. I think they're going to stick in tandem and rotate towards lowers. Tianqi, if he's at the right place at the right time, could be some free kills for him. Picks up the first one. The A1 should be easier to win out that duel. Runs out of bullets, but that's why you need the A4 goals. Need that extra 5.
Yeah, I'm a big fan myself. I agree with you. That's it. He's having a game and a half, man. He's just really playing comfortably. You can see him. He's getting aggressive there. They've really picking this part enough. I mean, really, really well on the side of VYB and esports. They're literally taking control of all the areas, and they're just adjusting perfectly on the sides of the map. And they're really making Flying Crushers stretch for any sort of opportunity. And really clinical CS coming out of them. And this is what you'd expect from a team of this caliber.
For sure. You can just start to see the comfortability coming out of Vibe, and players moving around the map quite nicely to support their teammates. Tianqi there for the support, smoke stabs and pops the flash for, I think, Custom under Ducky to swing. And the molly in front of the smoke prohibits the support to come in, so all isolation is on Tuckbox. He's just bouncing around the smoke, trying to survive, and the utility is good, and the multi-kills are coming out from the side of Vibe and Custom. The anchor of the A side prevails. Trade does come out, but a bit too late. Too late. Touchdown grenade from Tianqi's.
Yeah, this team looking really strong here. Not much more to say about that. You can just see that confident hold. with sequential flashbangs, just popping them deep, popping them close, all peeking at the same time, just taking those fights together as a unit, all committing through the smokes, making sure that everyone's on the same page in terms of what they're doing. They're either waiting or they're going, and they're just a perfect display of retake communications from UIP and esports. Flying Crushers here, since a strong start, have slowed down. I mean, the rounds have been close. It's come down to the wire so many times, but unfortunately, as close as you'd like. Only the rounds that matter.
Seems like it's going to be an A fake towards the B side. The smoke did come over from B, so they're going to be walking in while the contact does come out from the A ramp. Just a deagle on Storm to create some pressure. I think he needs a little bit more, but the rotations, they are there, but the take, well, the hit comes in from the left arm. Tianki's holding strong with the trade. Comes in from Adam, frozen there with an AWP. Landing some good shots, pivoting around the site and funds the second for the round, and Storm, last player alive. Unfortunately, needed to do more and sell the fake. Or they needed to be a bit more patient and upper B until Storm actually died. I think they should have waited because the rotation was coming up. You could see in the mini-map it was just Tianki's from the side. So they would have potentially gotten a 3 versus 1. Storm finds the first. And this campaign, Frozen, it's up to him to miss the warp shot, and he's not going to do that. It's 11 rounds on the board. A dominating performance. It got scary midway, but they stabilized.
Yeah, stabilized and did a good job of it. Like they just, you can see they didn't really feel any of the pressure at all. The rounds came down to the wire a few times. Some perfect individual clutches to really catapult them or the team's momentum here in the first half. 11 rounds. This is certainly something that you'll be happy with so far. I mean, if you've got any sort of structural teamwork, if you've been together for a while, which this team has, you can obviously expect to have a strong T side as well. And yeah, I'm afraid a lot of work ahead of Flying Crushers here, but they are quickly reaching onto the B side. But that nade does quite a bit of damage. Delays the push as well, but no, the defense is strong. Custom moving perfectly towards that triple area. Now all the support in the world is here through the first kills come through. 2 quick picks as they go up ramp. Another one as well. 2 versus 2. Suddenly it is close. Frozen in again, throwing bodies at the at the bomb, and now the final play comes towards that connector area. Shoulder peeks him, and now Frozen under a lot of pressure. Surely the teammate is going to come and support. No, Storm. Oh, eventually gets peeked out, and again, just another round that comes down to the wire. Tools, 1 player remaining, but again, the rounds are all that matters, and they have been able to build up a little bit of an economy here. The CTs, and they'll be able to power off the back of that. So no real damage there for them, and T's are struggling, man. It's looking like a 13-2 half and an absolute clinic here on Mirage.
Look, they've lost 3-1 versus 1 engagement, so it could be a case 9-5, and this could have been one of the rounds to make the difference. But I do think you give Flying Crushers a bit more time, maybe some direction, coach perhaps. And these guys can go away because mechanically they got it. They're moving around with such pace. That's Storm picking up the entry towards Con, and Darkheart just doubling down, and the B split seems to be on the cards. It's down to Tianki's. He's had a good performance thus far on this B side. Finds the first, and this is the advantage you get. Dance around the pillars to find these engagements, and yeah, it's custom to be the last alive in the 1 versus 3. It's not enough. So like I said, you give Vibe in those 3 1 versus 1s, things are different. This game becomes completely competitive, but so far Vibe, and I think they should feel comfortable, but at the back of their heads, they're wondering what if we lost those 3 rounds.
Absolutely, that was a lot closer. That was a close game. 12-3 doesn't really reflect how tight this affair was, and you can see the frags are pretty evenly distributed across the board. And yeah, Flying Crushers, if they want to get back to this round, they need this pistol round. Don't mean to put any sort of pressure on it, but it is the case, and we do see quite a bit of util being purchased up here by YPN Esports towards that B side. We see numbers heading towards that B side as well. They're on the CT side, all 4 stacking, and this is a perfect call here coming out of Flying Crushers. And will the util rain in? It does seem like they know this hit is coming. Baby Shark is in this linchpin kind of situation. The frags are going the way. Pretty much evenly traded, but the numbers are not going to be expected. Quick flicks from Lately. 2 quick frags. Gets another as well. 3 frags for the star player, and gets the bomb down. Cool as you like. Now, rotation comes in from Darkheart. 234. Got to pick up some insane shots now, and they won't give him anything. They know exactly where he is now. See a pop flash coming through. No, it's just a decoy. Excuse me. I'm sure he turned like I did, though.
Low. Yeah. It's a good pistol round from Lately. Brilliantly done. I think that's 4 kills for him. Really strong rebuttal. Now that gives him a a positive KD. I think we're sitting 10 for 10, but this makes them sit pretty, and Flying Crushers had the read. They stacked it with 4 players. Just couldn't land the shots, unfortunately. Storm. Did they force buy into this? Yeah, it was a force buy from Flying Crushers, so an all-in approach. I feel if they do lose this round, it's kind of tickets for them. I think this is the easiest of all the rounds they could potentially play. Baby Shark, nice headshot from the Deagle. Oh, as you say that, 2 swift kills come out from Vibe and keeping the advantage their way. Also Frozen, just tossing some rifles away, making sure it can't be picked up. Storm does get a tag, and he finishes it off with the flying Batman. Gotta love to see that. Just lately with the trades, and yeah, that's the case. Flying Crushers. I thought they would have struggled on the CT side. Just looking how robust and nimble their T side was, didn't seem to rely on coordination too much, and that's what the CT side requires.
A little bit of a gamble stack coming out here from Flying Crushers. They seem to be very convinced that this B hit is coming in, and early rotation might catch Vibin sports off guard. They do know one plays towards that backstage area, but now our beach in the side bomb is going to be able to go down. Adam's already out. Both players are here, and surely they know now. Fake plant to come through, pressuring the retakes to happen, but just a lot of ring around of rosies, and that is the round. Just like that, it is over. And I do agree with you, Tools. I mean, looking at the economy now, only one player that can maybe buy up something a little bit fancy, but it looks like they're going to have to probably eco somewhat this round and then go for the overtime. So that's like 12 rounds in a row that they're going to need. Do see Baby Shark picks up that scout. He's having none of it. They are definitely going to force behind this as well. They're going to force till the end of the game.
Yeah, pretty much. The A1 comes out. There's only 2 scouts on the board, complemented with a few Deagles. Not much reliance on utility, just 2 flashes on Dark Horse. So they're really fighting up against the wall. Kind of leaning the entire defense towards that A site and just playing retake towards door and custom. Easiest kill of his life. I mean, Baby Shark should have at least anticipated that, looking at the timing and Death Heart. Yo! Swift headshots. Swift as you'd like. These guys have aim, they have mechanics. I mean, it's a pity. I think, like I said, you give them a bit more time, some guidance, some leadership perhaps. I don't know what it's like. Maybe they were just put together recently. And if that is the case, I'm impressed as ready as is. But I'm afraid the odds of this round are not in their favor.
Yeah, agreed. It's a tough round again, and it's 2 versus 4. We've seen them pull out miracles with specifically the Deagle on Adam and the P250, if you will, but lately he's in such a good position here. He's going to time the peak perfectly as well. Quick spray transfer as well. Looking mechanically sound, especially on this map today, and 15-3. And this is a blowout game. So I did expect this to be a slightly one-sided affair, but I do think that Flying Crushers have impressed me in terms of what they were able to bring mechanically and how they were able to actually fight off this team or bring it down to the wire almost every single round. And Clash is not going their way, but ultimately Vibin certainly the runaway favorite here. 15-3, 1 round left to go to close this out. Oh no, disaster.
Didn't mean to do that. Miss Goozy, I apologize. Tianki is picking up the first. Mid-aggression isn't paying off. Again, the coordination wasn't there. There was no flash for, was it Dark Heart to swing out, and it seems like they're making the job a bit more difficult for themselves. Just to make the aim is there, so the protocol could just come out a little bit and show if they can get pay off. It's a 3 versus 3, so there is a bit of fight left in the Flying Crushers. Oh, that's Adam just catching Tianki's. They're sleeping frozen, mind you. The trade does come out, and it's down to 2 versus 1. Takbok needs to retrieve the bomb and make his headway. 1 minute on the clock, so plenty of decisions can be made. Pretty much going to feel it out, and I think he almost spotted Baby Shark. The sound cue is probably going to work out for Tianki's, but Baby Shark doubles back, and it's going to come to the element of surprise. I think Takbok, once he turns the angle, come back to bite him, and Baby Shark, there we go, spots him out and finishes it off, and that's the 4th round. The saving grace coming out of Baby Shark. A plot twist in the end,
Flying
eventually. A
Crushers.
plot twist. Maybe Baby Shark bring it back.
Yeah, strong turn of events and quite a tough position financially for the side of Vibe and Esports. Now they can pretty much purchase up this round, but next will be certainly a save. And you see this quick A burst popping out. Jeff Frozen's already out there. Ram Flash is on point, and now they bring the pace. They change it up, but he doesn't realize there's so many players on towards this A side. So the whole team is there. Not a single player is over towards B. What is going on here?
I've never seen that before. A full gamble stack. I think the previous round, the B anchor went towards window and then doubled back to the B side. But by the time he was about to double back, there was already a flashbang. Frozen already picked up the first kill. So they're making it work. So on the CT side, the calls are there. Stacked towards B in the pistol round, stacked towards A, and I think the most important round, 10 match points to play. Vibe, I won't be sweating too much.
Yeah, looks like a long. Oh,
Can he S-flash?
yeah, must work out somewhere. Oh!
Ooh. That sends me some shivers. Baby Shark doing the Lord's work. Yeah, it's just an eco round. You kind of much expect this to happen. Some Deagles are in custom. They gotta just watch out for that. They've left the A side vacant, so perhaps the bomb plot on the card survive in esports. Nope, nope. And that's the 5th kill, so Ukumazi finally waking up. Maybe he's a CT side player. He had a rough T side, only picked up 3 kills there, so just keeping their dream alive. Round by round is what they should be saying to themselves.
Yeah, only 9 to go. That's all they need here. Now, full AK-47, full purchase, full util as well on the side of Vibe and Esports. Quite a stronger kind of purchase for the CTs. They've also got that AWP up on the Baby Shark, who has proven to be somewhat effective. And we see an honest split coming from the CT. No shenanigans, no dirty gamble stacks, but also no crazy fool 5-man rushes yet. Looks like Vibe are looking to play it by the book a little bit more, defaulting it out, taking that middle control, and now steering themselves towards the middle of the round here. Going to be pop flashing towards that connector area, try to get some presence away from that connector, if you will, but now they move towards that cat area. Unsuccessful for the last time they did this, and you see quite a few numbers in the middle of the map here, and suddenly Adam makes the rotation towards cats as well, or towards B to support that cat area. So they are well aware of the position of VOIBN, but the first frag goes their way. They deal with that threat. I think it believed towards that window area. Now Adam going to be looking to take back that ground, maybe peek towards that middle. They don't have any sort of information. This is the clinical and slow play that we expect from a team like YBN.
Yeah, I just can't really finish that off. Good splits, really great split coming out from Vibe and methodical, and the approach is good. And that's 16-6 flying crushes. Just couldn't able to get themselves or pull themselves towards towards the end of there. I thought they were going to get the gust, that last gust of winning their sales to try push them through and just clinch away at that deficit. And I do think if things were different, they picked up those are 1v1s they lost in the T half. That becomes a completely different game. It could have been 13-9, and from there, it's definitely winnable. It's a prospect that many players have been in and able to accomplish. But I do think you give them a good coach. They've spent more time in the server. Maybe they're a mixed team, but I'm pretty impressed with some of their individual plays and some of their aggression. They're winning out these 1v1. So against some of the best players in South Africa, goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they had a good performance for sure. I think they definitely could have, won a couple of those clutches and made that map like really tight. Like it was really close. The CTs had no economy building whatsoever. They were literally just off the back of individual plays. And we spoke about how mechanically gifted some of those players are and what a high level they play on. So when they're leading on that, that it's a tight game. And they're ultimately, the Crush is just unable to get into it. And looked like a valiant effort even there towards the end. But again, the better team just came with their structure, came with their practice, came with their strategy, and ultimately got across the line. 16-6, dominant performance by them, and certainly looking forward to keeping an eye on them and seeing where they end up this tournament.
Oh, 100%. So Vibe and pick up the W, but we're going to throw it over to the desk and see what they have to say about that matchup.
Thank you so much, Golden Lighter. Well, we had an interesting game that we had to watch. YBN, and they took the win against the Crushers, and it seemed in the end the Crushers were trying to make a comeback, and we were excited. Oh, is this gonna be a comeback? But unfortunately, they couldn't stay on to it, especially since their VYBN were only 1 point away from winning. But before we get into in-depth analyzation, let me remind you guys one more time about the $50 that is up for grabs to be added to your Steam wallet. All you have to do is go to gaming.lenovo.com, and you can either post your favorite clip from the broadcast, or you can go and vote for your favorite team. And while you're there, make sure that you go and browse around for some different offers. So, analysts, what do we think of the game?
Pretty much one-sided. We've seen total domination by VYBN. I loved how the way they played. They played a really similar style to what we've seen yesterday by ATK. Basically, defaults here, a rush here, smokes A, some kind of teamwork, just not too complicated, yet simple. Let us talk through about the round 4-2, which was the 5th round, the 7th round. As you remember, Crushers were eco, half semi-buy, and VYBN were full buy. They had the economy, they were having the map control. However, there is one point I would like to say about this specific round. As you noticed, they have smoked the jungle and stairs, and they have successfully hit A, and they have killed 3 members. In this situation, when they are eco or semi-buy, you need to actually focus on sites rather than focusing on mid. Like, keep your molly for the palace, for the rush, keep your mollies and smokes for the ramp in case they enter. Yet, they need to play together, not one jungle and one CT or high. They need to play a little bit passive, yet they need to expect the rush. Use their utility in a much predictable way. Like they're gonna predict them entering the site, so they need to use the molly earlier, so that they stop the rush at ease, and then they have control after the smokes. When they end, they would have delayed much time and control the site without losing members. Because as we saw, it was a 1v1 in the end, 2v1, and then 1 kill, and became 1v1. They almost lost the round, but they had control. They won the round successfully, but I don't want to see this mistake happen. They're equal. You need to play passively.
We've seen a lot of retakes in this game. Like, very successful retake. It's not 100% right done by the CT, but there was a lot of mistakes for Crushers.
Indeed, a lot of mistakes for Crushers, and as you said, when Crushers were in eco round and they almost got the win, maybe that would have changed the entire pace of the game. Maybe would that be an opening for them to have an earlier comeback rather than making it at the end?
That's a very good question. This is a round 4-2. It decides, actually, it's one of the deciding factors rounds that change the pace of the game. 4-2 is a really key round. So let's say Crushers won that round. They would snowball to actually 6-4, 7-4, maybe 9-4. So you see that kind of gap difference rounds between the rounds. This is the key momentum, a key round that could actually give them momentum to actually go more rounds. It could be the other way, 11-4 for Crushers. So that's why this important point is to actually focus every round to read, to know when they are eco. When they are eco, they might rush anywhere. B could be A, palace, or mid. So they need to play anti-rush all these rounds to actually not ensure these kind of mistakes will happen again in the future.
So we only noticed that specific round where they almost lost against the team that was in an eco round, against Crushers that was an eco round. Was there any other specific moments that you would think that VYBN were lacking, or do you think they just completely were outskilling and outclassing?
I haven't seen anything lacking from VYBN. It's basic play, textbook gaming. They're not doing something wow yet. Simple CS. They're playing relaxed. They're holding their sights well. It's what I like to see. They're focusing all the rounds. They're holding it down, making sure that we are in control of this game. As you see, 11-4. Too many rounds. VYBN simply had There's nothing to deny the fact that they were doing bad. It You can say there are some minor mistakes. One of the major mistakes was only this round that I've seen. Yet minor mistakes can happen. There is no team in the world that doesn't do any minor mistakes in the game. So this can be like either ignored or fixed by just talking, simple talk. But this round is very important. The 4-2. That's the most important that I would like to say. Some major.
Well, one last thing that I want to tackle, as we know for online tournaments, the main thing that might set people back would be different locations, so different pings. So Crushers, I noticed one of the casters said they had around 20 ping around, more than VYBN. Do you think that really makes a difference in their gameplay?
I mean, high ping, of course, makes a difference, but 20 ping is not that big of a difference, because if 50 ping and 20 and 30 ping, it's almost the same. Like, if you're playing on 100 ping against 20 ping, then that's a huge difference.
All right.
60 plus. Let's put
Yeah,
it
there
on
is
the point.
60 plus.
60 plus
it's a big difference.
it's gonna be a difference. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for analyzing the game, and hopefully our coming match will be more exciting or as exciting as the game that we had today. And
Definitely.
we're not doing any
Yeah.
curses. I'm sorry, Adam gave me a look, and I know for sure. We hope that the next match is just going to happen. Can I say that? It's just going to
Easy
happen.
to be.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to be taking a very, very short break. So make sure you stay tuned, grab your popcorn, and don't go anywhere.
Would you ever love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be there, then I'll wait to say a superhero in your a superhero in You called my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop me from hitting the ground. And every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be there, then I'll wait to say a superhero in your sleep. A superhero in
It wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water.
Welcome back to the Legion Africa Cup, brought to you by Legion by Lenovo. We're back from our break, and we're shortly going to be starting our second game of the day. How are we feeling, analysts? Are we hyped? No curses involved.
Hype.
Disclaimer: no curse. Hyped up.
Very hyped up.
So, are we? Do we know anything about these teams beforehand? Or are they completely new for us?
So far, right now, I don't have any idea.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see. I love to actually discover some new games, some new teams in these matches. So it's an adventure for me. I'm used to it.
Oh, you're used to the adventure, the mystery, the adventure, the mystery. Well, hopefully they can bring us some really, really good games. But first, let me remind you guys about the $50 that we have up for grabs to be added to your Steam wallet. All you have to do is go on gaming.lenovo.com. You can post the clip from a broadcast, or you can go and vote for your favorite team. And while you're there, make sure you browse around for some different offers. All right, so coming match will be very, very soon. Do you have any predictions on what the next map
I
will
mean, I
be?
wanted to see the logos, but to clarify something.
Oh, the logos, we're definitely
Yeah.
going to be seeing that. Don't
Yeah.
worry, we're going to see the
clarify
logos.
something, not to look fool for other people. The logo we saw, and I actually thought it's emotional, is the default logo. It's the
We did get
default
very
logo.
emotional. Do you take
Uh,
it back, or do you still stand with it?
I mean, I have to stand. I'm gonna stand with it. There is a connection between me and this logo.
There's a connection, undeniable connection.
Wow.
Yes.
And who knows, maybe they can come back
That's deep.
later on. Maybe they can get the wild card and then they can win it just like ADK did.
I mean, if any of the teams coming now, they don't have a special logo. We're gonna see the same default logo.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going to be happening. But we're going to hear news about some information about our next match soon. But before we do, let's see today's games and their logos. Spicy logos. Oh, before the logos, let's actually go and check the tournament's qualifiers, just the scores to recap for today. So for today's match, just before the break, we had Flying Crushers versus VYBN Esports. And as we saw, VYBN Esports took the win, even though Flying Crushers in the end tried to make the comeback. And next, we have the Killer Mavericks versus Royalty. And thirdly, we have DNMK Esports, which unfortunately their opponent forfeited, so that automatically gives them the win. So I'm sorry I teased you a little bit about the logo, but don't worry, it's coming very, very soon. But do tell me about some predictions about the next map. What do you want to see?
New
Feeling
map.
new
Of course,
connection.
I want to see a new map, honestly.
A new map,
Yes.
You can agent. One of them.
Nuker Agent.
I mean, we didn't
Okay.
see Vertigo.
Agent.
Yeah,
What?
We didn't see Vertigo.
All right, well, I guess the map. I don't know how. Did you read my mind? Because I just got information that it is indeed Vertigo for the next map that we're going to be playing.
thank
You know, if the analyst job doesn't work out for you, you could always, work as an oracle or work as a mind reader. So I know this is a very spicy map, especially since we haven't had it played before and we haven't talked about it before. So it hasn't been exhausted. So let me know. The floor is yours.
Vertigo is about A-ramp, basically. Everyone knows about Vertigo forces a lot of utilities in A-ramp. It's the main point in the whole map. Because whenever you have A-ramp, whether you are CT or T, you have so much space to play in. You can keep a player in A for info. The rest can go mid and B. If you are T-side and you have A-ramp, the easiest to enter site by smoke setups. You're gonna force from both sides a lot of utilities. Mid control is not complicated as it is in any other map. It's easy. It should be more on aim duels. I think you shouldn't disagree with me on that.
I disagree.
Why?
Vertigo. Now, the first point you said, A control is really important. A ramp control is the most sensitive spot that you need to actually gain control and be in control of that area. Now, there are some places where you need to set up. Use your smokes, use your molotovs, use your flashes in a right way. There is a setup in B that you use that's, I think, 99.9% effective. You will not lose the round with that setup. It's basically a B setup where you molotov the sensitive areas, smoke the CT area, molly heaven, and just enter with a flash while running. It's gonna pop above you, and you're gonna enter. Everyone is blind. Now, I will disagree. Why? Because in this map, yes, you do have a lot of aim duels. However, it's not gonna work out the whole game. Especially if you have a team, if you're facing a team which is good, they're gonna actually read you. So if you're gonna keep doing aim duels every round, you're just gonna be able to get countered by them.
Sorry, just to clarify a point. Aim duels with utility use. I'm saying about mid fights. Okay, mid fights is all about aim duels.
Mid.
Yes. Okay, you need to molly sandbag, having smokes right and left if you want to go mid to B. If you want to win the fight mid, it's aim duel.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be entirely.
If you take ramp, entering side, there is a guy in ninja. How are you gonna do this?
have to molotov.
You have to have a crisp aim if you don't have utility for the headshot angle.
Look,
There's
I will
there's
disagree
a lot
with
of
you.
headshot angles
50%.
on A side.
50%.
50% is okay. acceptable.
So let me see if I get this correctly. So Hope, you're saying this is more skill-based map. This is more for your aim. The best aim will
Not-
win.
I mean, utility is very important as well in this map, especially for taking round control. You cannot take it without utilities. But as a T side, you're gonna give it for A. If they're fighting heavily in A, 3 or 4 A, they're taking ace A ramp heavily, you're just gonna wait for the utilities to finish, then you're gonna use yours. It's gonna be way easier. There's a lot of tricks you can use in Vertigo. If you wanna really go aggressive and re-aggress the CT players, there's a couple of one-way smokes, a couple of good flashes, mollies that you need to use and know the lineups for it for you to be able to win the fights, which will not necessarily be aim duels, but by support flashes. It's all about it. This map as well needs a lot of teamwork. It's considered as Inferno, you can say, with the utility usage, especially in ARAM, how it is in Banana.
I feel, Sammy, you're holding back. Is
No,
there
it's
anything
not
you want to
about
add?
holding back. See, Adam is mentioning some really critical points in the map. You can say it's a teamwork-based map. Yes, it's not heavily as much as skill-induced map, like Mirage, let's say, or Dust 2. Now, Vertigo is a very rotation-based map. You can rotate A to B as T side within 5 seconds. Regarding CT is the real challenge. Because if the CT are able to deny the A control by the T side, then we would see a lot of rounds gained by CT. You see, A ramp control is the most important point in the map. Every map has a point where you gain control of. A ramp is that in Vertigo. So I would like to see, my prediction in this map is what I would love to see, a lot of executes. Yes, A ramp control will be evident, but I would like to see some executes in B and A. So I'm hoping to see some kind of team like that.
Vertigo is a team up, no, right?
Team up.
Yes.
Yes,
It's a heavy team up.
heavy team up.
It's a heavy team up. It's not a C team up.
That's why I said there's a challenge for CT.
Yes. So for CT to be able to get 6, 7 rounds would be amazing to start for T.
All right, well, let's see which route both of our teams are going to be taking, either Sammy's route or Hope's route. But let's get to our favorite part of seeing new teams play. Let's see the spicy logos. We have Killer Mavericks versus Royalty. What do you think? Hope, I have to
The
address
poet.
the poet. Hope, the poet.
I'm gonna go with the emotion.
You have to go with the emotions. All right. What about you, Sammy? What do you think?
Royalty, actually, funky logo.
Royalty
like.
looks great.
What do you think of that, Archie?
I think it looks.
I gave it.
I mean, in comparison, I mean, I think Royalty has to.
I'm going with Royalty because the name is nice as well.
Bro, you don't have emotion.
It's Royalty.
Man, just look at the look at
The map is okay. I agree with you, but the Royalty,
the
the
default
name
map.
itself.
What's better than a default map?
Well, we just got news as well that Royalty has won the knife round, and they have chosen, drum roll, CT side.
This side, okay.
Tough challenge.
Tough challenge.
Tough challenge. Yes, it's a heavily T side map. how do I mention this? A ramp is really hard to actually counter. Especially, look, Royalty, if they have aggressive players and know how to deal in aggressive situations, trust me, it's gonna go just all the way CT 15-0, maybe 14-1. That's my prediction.
All right. Well, do you have any last predictions before we start the game? Who do you think is gonna win?
Royalty. He's gonna go
Royalty, or are you gonna go with the
Mavericks.
emotions and go for
Killers.
Mavericks? Okay, all right. We have opposing predictions once more. That's what we like to see. And without further ado, let's head over to our casters' goals in lighter. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, Ashi. Goals, we've got a cracker game in our hands. It's Royalty up against Killer Mavericks, who I don't know much about. They've got a stock standard flag, but perhaps they could surprise us like the previous matchup, show a bit of interest, show a bit of skill here and there, maybe poke and prod and pull off the win. It will be Royalty on the CT side on Vertigo. Very complex goals.
Yeah, Vertigo finally a map. I spoke about it earlier. We're looking for something different, and yeah, Vertigo is definitely a chaotic one. For me, I'm obviously expecting Royalty to come out with the dub here. I mean, especially if they let it go to a map, you know, in best of one, they let it go down to Vertigo. They must be confident. They must be confident on the map, and I mean, maybe win for a little bit of surprise. I'm not too familiar of the opposing team as well. And then yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to some good CS, finding on a different map, looking for a nice new environment to see some good headshots, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, 100% Royalty. Recently signing a CSGO team. I'd say they're in the top 10 in South Africa thus far. So I'm definitely going to put them for my favorite schools. Would you say the same?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think so. I mean, unless these guys are just, you know, everyone has a shot, everyone has a chance. It's the beauty of CSGO. But again, we're talking about, you know, a strong, well-known organization with some strong, well-known players, and ultimately, I do expect them to get this one early on in the tournament. So certainly the favorites for sure.
100. Yeah, 100%. And as you know, Vertigo, one of those maps where I actually don't know what side it is. I'm mostly going to say the T side, looking at how most of the maps I've watched and most of the professional Counter-Strike I've seen. It seems like the T side comes about with 9 rounds, 8 rounds here and there. But I have seen cases where that is completely irrelevant, and the CTs just you know, pick up 10 to 11 rounds. So we're going to see how it plays out. I think it's one of those maps where the meta is still developing. A lot of new techniques are being learned and being discovered. So that always is a thing where it shifts the balance of the game. But yeah, I'm going to put my money in Royalty to take this, but I am looking for a good game. The previous game didn't really tell the true story. I do believe in a different day that match becomes a lot closer, perhaps like a 16-13. But yeah, maybe a rinse and repeat for this game. Only time will tell. But I've just gotten news. We're about to jump up into the matchup. It will be the CT side for Royalty, so they're going to be looking off for a decent start. We all know the importance of a pistol in a best of one. Of course, take us away.
Yeah, and off the bat, yeah, thank you, Tools. We have fast pace towards the middle here, coming from the Killer Mavericks. Of course, you said Royalty chose to decide to quickly brisk rush into the speed side. The numbers are here, and the crossfires are set up. Ruben getting some shots off, but now he eventually gets taken care of, and they know where he is. And right now, the trades are going back and forth, but certainly in favor of the Killer Mavericks. Absolute chaotic start here with full place, and again, words weren't cold there. We're talking about Royalty and what we expect from them, and boom, Liam 2016. Dirty stuff. I mean, just to jump off the back of that to get some introductions on the side of Royalty, we do have Chappie, Ruben, Sheer, Glitch, Shadow. And on the side of the Killer Mavericks, we have KMB_Gamer, Liam 2016, Carry, Mini, and Rao.
Okay, so Killer Mavericks, a good pistol on coming out of them. I do believe Royalty, yeah, on a different day they land those shots. It was a case of them whiffing. They had a good triangle set up there towards spawn and the B side, but the Des did speak of the importance of A-Ramp. Chappie can encounter some big damage. He picks up 2 and dinks the 3rd, so this ground is totally on its head at the moment, and Liam, the last player alive, and literally king eco round, just one flashbang and a dream.
Even though you're a big fan of Flash and Dream, especially on the you know, teamwork side where you have all 5 players working towards a common goal on an eco round. It's literally nothing really invested around, but that's the potential that it has. That's what you can do with that sort of setup and that sort of commitment from the team, and perfectly done there from Royalty, and that's going to hurt if you kill the Mavericks.
you know how?
Oh!
Carry! Carry me home. That's insane. Opening up with the dig. Ruben's gonna get the trade back, and it's a 4 versus 4. KMB's in a really good spot here to give them the advantage. Maybe some trigger discipline, but no, he's going to finish him off quite quickly. Not too sure if they invested in armor. No, they haven't. So it's Carry who invested in an armor, and he's picked up the second for the round. Straight back advantage. It's Sheer getting dicked from the side. Shadow nowhere to be found. It's all down on one man, and Shadow gets smoked out. What a twist of events. One Deagle changed up everything. Forced Royalty's hand to try get the trade back, and no man's land. Each player started dropping like flies. And as I was saying, do you know how I know these guys aren't South African? It's just the skins, man. They're using different skins. That's how I know.
Oh,
Oof. Shadow.
it's done there. That was spotted out, and now still got a lot of ground to make here. But it is KMB Gamer and Strong that are pretty much making this very, very difficult for him here to clutch. Was able to clear something with the molly there, but just to get on the bomb and sure.
Smoke.
Running out of time, so there goes the first player. Unable to get the second. It is Killer Mavericks that strike back. A beautiful entry fragging there for them. They quickly open up that site again, just a brisk pace and big rush towards that middle area. Overrunning and overwhelming that B bomb site before they knew what hit them, and next thing you know, they're in behind enemy lines and just making all the frags work. Killer Mavericks reset the CTs there, and it doesn't look like they're gonna force behind us. You see the AWP and that M4 already been purchased up, and the remainder of the players getting those deals.
100%. And Killer Mavericks forcing the issue, pushing the envelope towards the B site, and it's Mini on high ground, just trying to contest that A ramp and put a bit of pressure. Simultaneously, they'll be moving in towards this B side opening frag. Does come out glitchy, drops Ruben with that AWP, gets the trade back, but the advantage is still with Killer Mavericks, and they have control of the entire map. Besides they, of course, they split the B side quite nicely, and it's Shadow to come in. He's one of the newer players in the server at the moment for Royalty. Do know of the other players, but Sheer with the no scope, he's put out the Deagle to make a difference, and there we go. Puts himself in a 1 versus 1. Rotates towards the AK, he has armor to work with, but that Molotov is gonna be a bit of a nuisance, and it's Mini. Has an element of surprise here, and yeah, save the AWP and fight another day, and Killer Mavericks, surprising so far. I like the way they're playing. It's sheer aggression, straight up.
Yeah, and a lot of aggression towards this side of the map. They've won all their rounds here successfully.
Oh no.
Oh, and Mini falls off the side of the map.
No, I think he
Did, yeah.
did he do it on purpose?
I don't know.
To
Hope
try
not.
beat like the round time ending, because in some servers the round time ends a bit sooner. Yep.
Well, now he's minus
Big
1, so. Positive tension.
Yeah, it's never nice going -1. And you know you did it to yourself. That's Mini.
Oh my
he's
God.
got that 0 back.
He's on 0. Beautiful shot from Mini. Great recovery.
I got a kill with him still on 0? What? Where's that AWP? Oh no. You usually see the AWPers take a bit of high ground there. Glitch picks up a... There was a 2 versus 1 there, but it's Liam to come in with the trade and just clean up shop. Strong and Mini towards the A side. They split the attacking force, and surely they should be heading towards them. Playing it a bit slow. Glitch looking to bring it back in Royalty's favor. Maybe they just save AK and AWP for next round. No. I don't get that. For me, you want to go for the safe kill because there's no armor, there's no kits on the floor. But I guess he was boxed in. The B side was compromised and the A side, so where does he really save? Where do they really save? Nowhere. Nowhere. That's 4-1. Killer Mavericks, T-side, making it happen.
Yeah. They're really showing up here, man. You do see the buy round coming out of Royalty now. Surely we see a response for them, because at the moment it looks like Killer Mavericks have their number. Absolutely, they are just really on fire here. entry frags are on point. It just seems like they keep bamboozling Royals at this point.
Yeah. But as mentioned, I think this is a T-sided map, so Royalty do have that in the waistline for them to work with moving on eventually, but they need to be picking up some rounds. A few more on the CT side just to give them a chance moving on. It's Glitch to take the aggression down middle 2 versus 1, gets traded out. Gets some information, which is, I don't think that it's worth it at that point in time. We got a bit deeper and found that type of information, more men, would have been worthwhile, but Wrong is gonna take the stance of Liam. Trots up the middle, finds some space to work with potentially. They're looking to once again split, and Sheer takes a wide swing, but Wrong is going to fix them up real good, and they're going to be splitting towards this B side. KMB's already here. It looks like Royalty just can't find a footing. Chappie, he's had a decent performance, and with the new squad like this, I'm pretty sure he's the IGL and leading them, so he's going to have to put some numbers up and do the calling. It's a bit strenuous. Lots of IGLs do struggle, but I'm not too sure he'll be going for this. Maybe he's just waiting for a few mistakes coming up from Killer. And there we go, that's the first mistake, but still, time is of the essence if he wants to really go for this, but he's gonna back it up and fight another day. I'm impressed so far. Much like the previous matchup, these teams are already doing it with flying crushes, showing a bit of prowess, and it's all down to the mechanical aim, right? The pace at which Killer Mavericks are playing at, it's easily stoppable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that early aggression is certainly something that they can stop. I think it's just about timing and making sure that they're peaking or like choosing the zones in which they're taking those fights. But just to go back to Killer Mavericks, man, these entry frags and some of the positional, steps that they take, they're playing hella confidently here, and they're looking really, really strong, picking Royalty apart. It's really, really, really good year for which guys that we are particularly familiar with. Oh my god, that is just a dirty headshot. That is crazy.
Yeah, the stack isn't working out, and they're getting a lot of damage done, much like the second round, but I don't think Killer Mavericks will be falling for that twice. But Sheer, there's opportunity for him to pick up a weapon, but perhaps he can win out a duel here. And I think at this point, this team should be telling him that maybe one player's on low HP. So should he go for it? They're going to have a full buy on the next round in any case. But it's mini.
Oh no.
Yeah. Really emptying out his clip in him. Making sure he's definitely dead. No zombie thing.
Wow. Killer Mavericks here. Looking really good. I don't know what more to say.
I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm sure Royalty are as shocked as us at the moment, so they're probably still trying to get the grips of it. And not only that, they're the ones who are in the service, so they need to figure out what's going wrong and how do we stop the onslaught coming up from Killer Mavericks. The aggression is different, and Chappie eventually lands a headshot. That's one of the first opening kills that they've gotten. I guess the previous round they got one as well, but it was instantly traded back. So Shadow gives them the further advantage. So 2 men on the side of Killer Mavericks spectating at the moment. Just can be carrying Wrong. Left. Make that carrying Wrong only. And this will do well for Royalty, just to keep 5 members alive if they can, to buffer out that economy. That's when you can really start to string some rounds together. And Wrong on the verge of being bombarded from Glitch. Chappie's gonna spot that out. Yeah, that's the bomb down. That should be the call. And that's 5 members surviving, even some upgraded weapons, 2 AKs, 3 AKs in fact. So a more impactful round in terms of firepower coming out of Royalty. And this could be their stride to success, to just chip away at that disadvantage, that deficit.
And again, you spoke about, I think it's a pretty even map, but Royalty did choose to start on the city side just, so certainly not going to plan if this is what they picked to do. But yeah, closing the gap indeed needs to be a focus point. They do have another buy up here. Did well to have all those remaining players. And now, let's see what they can do in response. But so far, it's been the Killer Maverick show, man. You see some slightly weaker weapons, but Carry steps out wide, and there's 2 quick frags. They just pick them off. Ruben is able to get another frag there towards the middle. That's going to make things a bit closer versus 4 now. But he makes 3 versus 3, picks another play off by the ladder as well. It's perfectly timed aggression, but not gonna spot the final play. There we go. Gets the information, gets the bomb as well. Perfectly timed the play there from him. When he needs to chase that down, he needs to wait for his teammates. He's just playing the perfect scenario here.
I wanted to say I don't get that smoke from Mini. No, he should knife. Oh, he's sad. I think maybe Ruben timed out. I don't see any real reason why he would be there instead of rotating down the ladder. But it's down to Glitch. He's had a decent performance this game so far, and Sheer with the aggression just takes out one of the concerns for Glitch. And yeah, massive round for Glitch. Not only getting the flank and that information, but getting that triple kill. Could even have been a fourth. Didn't really get to see, but Royalty continuing to their stride. They survived with 2 players and they had money from the previous round, so it's Killer Mavericks with the eco. Finally, a breath of fresh air for Royalty. Oh wow. These guys have no chill goals.
Yeah, there's numbers towards middle now. They love taking this place very, very aggressively. Destroying numbers at the problem. Glitch gets that first frag, starting to feel it now. More frags, take the aggression to them now. Lots of flashes committing to this fight now. And they are taking numbers, and nice 5-man survival again for Royalty. They're starting to build up some bank, build up some confidence, get some frags on the board, get some rounds on the board, closing that deficit. It was just 6-1, and now it's already 6-4. So Royalty definitely finding their footing back into this game, but remember that was an eco round from the side of Killer Mavericks. So again, now is their full purchase, and so far they've been winning all of those gun rounds. You see that AWP still up on the CT side, something that was not present on the T side, and we do see numbers heading towards that lead. So again,
Yeah, they're gonna be running straight up the A ramp, Ruben poised as ever, and that's what you get with uncoordinated aggression. No flashes, just to aid them out. And this is where I think Royalty will start feeling more comfortable with the pace at which Killer Mavericks are playing at. The utility quite earlier on, the AWP up and about, so it's going to cause a bit of a nuisance for Killer Mavericks. They need to figure out a plan, maybe use more utility. Maybe that's the only mode that they have. Go fast, please. Hold W, Pliat. Ruben's going to finish it off just like how you started. That's 5 rounds. And perhaps this is where you start to see Royalty catch up and start to stretch the lead. Killer Mavericks once again left with little to no money to work with.
yeah, again, you're going to need an eco round here, and those have been tough rounds, right? They haven't really got a kill, I think, on the last 2 eco rounds, so yeah, definitely a strong side to try and pick apart. This Royalty with that perfect 5-man pop flash eco that we saw, but do have quite a few players moving towards this bomb. So, oh, chat needs to go into the smoke. It's the last second decision that works out for him, and now struggling to spot him, and eventually lands the headshot. Liam, that was what?
I'm sure Chappie was caught by surprise over there. It's Ruben just to aid out this A defense, and yeah, Chappie, I think he heard the sound cues and just had no choice but to go through the smoke. That animation and changing weapons was a bit delayed, and they allowed the bomb to go down, which is a bit peculiar. They had that Molotov there. They could have thrown a bit sooner. They're going to opt for the retake. 1 flash left on carry. And this is where you really get to see the teamwork coming out from Killer Mavericks. That flashbang is going to eventually be used, but the flank, I think the flank is being flanked. No, it's by sandbags. I lie, and that's the 6th round on the board. It became a bit scary for Royalty. Things could have changed if Chappie went down.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see that big comeback come through, 6-6 now. Chance for Royalty to lead for the first time in this game. Really putting on those strong rounds, but now we do see the buy. We see that AWP also on carry. Killer Mavericks, let's see what they do in response here. It kind of look like they've been relying on this. This is another double up setup. It's another double up setup. We're seeing a lot of that today. Crazy times. Maybe me and you just,
Oh, what a time to be alive. Woo. Yeah. That was snappy. That was very snappy. Yeah, it's that time of the year. It's Christmas. Everybody gets an AWP. Ruben, easiest kill of his life. And Yeah, you can't really flash for yourself these days. Players are getting better and better and just dodging them. So it's KMB and Co. I don't know what the game plan is here for Mavericks. Is it just aggression all out around the map? Some rounds they just 5-man towards a side. It's definitely extremely puggy, I'd say. But I don't see a problem with that. They just need a bit more utility backing them up and creating avenues of escape or access towards the site. And it's quite of a dangerous duel here coming up from Glitch. I'm not sure why he really committed to that. He's got support in the site. Makes a bit of sense, and both players opting for AWPs. He's using an AWP as a fake flash? What? But it's 2 versus 1. Can be looking for these engagements. One-on-ones are essential. Keep dancing and diving around obstructions, and there we go. Eventually, Fischer closes up, and that's the lead for the first time in this matchup from Royalty. Breathing a sigh of relief, I'd assume.
Yep, take the lead finally here, 7-6, 7 in a row. So quite a bit of quite a bit of loss bonus building up here for the Killer Mavericks. Again, we do have that LWP up in gamer, but 2 orbs this round. But now we do see numbers towards B. They've had quite a bit of success towards the side, so no surprises here. Quick control is taken, but CTs are there to fight initially, but they are falling back, pull back to the side, playing to those defensive source of positions. Beautiful spam coming from Chappie here, doing quite a bit of damage onto Money there, and winning that A exchange. Things are pretty much settling all across the map now. Oh, the first frag goes again the way of Royalty now. Quick pick there from Shadow, taking control of that mid area. He struggled in the beginning, and B as well. They also struggled in the beginning, but they all just getting their opening kills. They're getting a lot more comfy, getting a lot more, confident with what they're doing and using their default setups. Their picks, their protocols, and beautiful fancy stuff coming from Glitch. Really styling 8-6 now. Royalty time, starting to look like the team that we were discussing and speaking about.
Yeah, Killer Mavericks looking to try cement this round. Attack pause to find some solutions, assess where the weaknesses are, where the gaps are on the defense. Royalty, as soon as they got the AWPs, they started stringing a lot of rounds together. If you look at the economy, 15,000 on Sheer, 8,000 on the rest, also in Glitch, so money was never a concern. And I'm sure they're going to be aware of some possible aggression coming up. You got to watch middle A, B, first couple of seconds just to settle things down and then start shuffling around that defense. But Killer Mavericks, I think they can find some space at B if they just flash off the AWP of that angle he's been sitting on for the past 3 rounds. And A ramp, they need to fight for it. They can't just let Chappie have his way with it. Leaves him with no space to work with. You're in a B control, A control, middle. You can pretty much prod and probe, but I'm pretty sure it was Sheer they're holding it down, or Ruben. I definitely think it was Sheer. So you have to pull out that strat book and pick a page, pick a strat, and really commit to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Does seem to be something more of a technical pause here than as opposed to a tactical, but I'm sure we'll be getting back in shortly. 8-6 now, the final game of the evening, day 2 year tools. And been some surprising teams here. These teams that we haven't really known much about have come and shown up against some of the top teams in the country. As you say, you mentioned these teams are the top 10, things like that. It's quite cool to see teams that are completely unknown, kind of, as the desk has been talking about, standing up and taking that opportunity to show what they're about, what they're worth, what they can do on the server, and rising up to the challenge to these big teams ahead of the playoffs and the later parts of the tournament. But 8-6 we do look like we are jumping back into the game. Unfortunately, not a strong buy here for the final round for Killer Mavericks. I mean, I'm sure they'll be happy with 6, but considering they were 6-0 up, certainly going to feel like a little hard done by, I believe. That's what looked to close it off, and that was a bit of a stabby stab there.
Nice. But that was like a double stab though, but Shadow's going to open up the scoreboard for Royalty. That was like purposeful. It felt purposeful. Some about mistake with that. Sure. Glitch gonna swing out and pick up a headshot. And all the players are remaining here. He's gonna press forward. Good util usage just to support him on his rampage towards middle. Oh man, really laying down the pain and picking up free kills through the smoke. Doesn't need to really see his opponent in actual fact, and that should be the 9th round on the board for Royalty. Really turning the game in their favor. Didn't start off good. As you can see there in the middle, after the 2nd round they won, they lost consecutively 5 rounds. So I'm pretty sure there was quite nerve-wracking in that camp. But eventually when the finances started to come in, those AWPs came out and hold those angles, those long-range tools started becoming in their favor. So my assessment is Africa's not short of any mechanical players, that's for sure. Really got to shoot out those windows if you want to get those XX coming in. Just another curveball for Killer Mavericks to think about while the slow play starts to unravel. And Shadow does spot out a flanker there in the middle, gets Goose, so carries in a pedal back, and you can already see frantically in the minimap the defenders are shifting around to bolster up certain parts of the map. And it's the A ramp that's going to be hit eventually. A flash and 2 smokes and Ruben. Assuming one's going to... It's going to smoke off the left-hand side, so they're going to come through short. That generally is the route you want to be taking, not the front. And as you can see, bulk of the attack is moving towards short and into the site, and it's sheer to get the trades close and tight and personal with the Glocks is always going to be favorable, and he's delivering in spades. Ooh, could potentially even pick up a few. It's a 2 versus 3, so they're not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, and he's still certainly long range, nice headshot, heavy kind of angles. So Royalty needs to look to not be too overzealous here, but it is the main man Sheer there with a beautiful way to end the round. And it's beautiful stuff. Just literally running into the side, picking up all those heads, just really poking and potting at the right angles, getting out just in time, pulls back, plays it perfectly, and the team secure the round. 10-6 now. Royalty start the T side the way that they would have wanted, and now can purchase behind it a couple of AK-47s, MAC-10s. We see on the CT side nothing going to be invested. You see another timeout coming through here, so we don't really know what they're going to do. I don't imagine they're going to buy. I think they need to kind of save for the next round. Hopefully try and do something that something like Royalty did. Sickle 5 plays together, get a little pop flash, try to get some picks, do some damage to that economy. Don't let those SMGs farm up too much there. But we do see 2 flashes already on carry, so remains to be seen exactly what we can expect out of the Killer Mavericks if we do see a force buy or not. I'd like to see them play it safe and hope give themselves a running chance in winning this. They looked strong at the start of this half, but unfortunately a bit lackluster towards the end of the first. They're not really picking up around in the last 10 straight. So it's been a tough time there for Killer Mavericks, and perhaps something that they are going to be discussing right now, but we do see that they're not going to purchase tools. So it's going to give the SMG some easy frags to work with. Let's see what they get up to.
Yeah, this is a T-sided map, so bear that at the back of your minds here. He'll be taking some aggression towards A ramp. He has the only... Oh, there's 2 AKs. No, he has the only AK, so he needs to be a bit cautious here. He does have support, and he's landing the headshots all around. Woo! These guys are nuts. Yeah, that's the inexperience, I think, coming out from the side of Royalty. Sheer shouldn't be putting himself in where, if he does go down, they can't recycle that AK. And now that's just going to be in the hands of the Danger Man. Maybe heading towards this B side, potentially. They are slowing it down. You see 2 players mid. So perhaps Shadow needs to get back at the bomb. They're going to set up for the split. Rotation is coming in. The longer the wait, the more dangerous the site becomes. Molotov towards D, felt some flashes for the entry fragger to go, and he does have a Poison, so 50 bullets to play with, can't really go wrong. Yeah, easy as you'd like. The MAC-10s pick up all the money, 11th round on the board. They are 5 rounds away from match point, or GG, match point will be 4.
Strong showing here from Royalty, 11 in a row. Now we see the gun round coming out of the Mavericks. I'm interested to see if they have some tricks up there. This lead there on the CT side, they got some aggressive plays. This T side was certainly fire, certainly very plug and loose. And you see them barreling towards its A side is Royalty. It is a full numbers and commitment in terms of the breach. And now they start to move on to the side. They do hear a little something there towards side of the site, and now kind of slowed down. A little bit of spamming going on, glitch close, but no one's home. No one's really feeling the pain just yet, and he does able to win. He's one of the wins that do. I don't know how he did it. Peeks a little bit aggressively as well, getting touched by the flames, but now they can peak with numbers, but the site is wrapped completely, and again, Royalty just bulldozing completely over. Oh my god, it's a persuasive smoke. Beautiful from Wrong. So wrong. Dirty stuff from him. And oh, he spots the player as well. Does quite a bit of damage as well. Now, this is 3v3, definitely doable for the side of Killer Mavericks. If they want to get back into this game, now's their opportunity. And now, oh, we see them peek, but no. Peek into the fierce aim of Chappie, who spots the last player out as well. And takes their heads as well. And that puts a 12 on the board for Royalty. Dominating stuff. It looked close there and got a bit dicey for them. But ultimately, they close it out solidly. And again, with no real challenge whatsoever. Now, another save round. We're getting close to that 16-round scoreline.
Yeah, most of the time you gotta expect the CTs to be spamming through. Nothing much you can do about that, Sarun. Doing what he needs to do. And it's another eco for Killer Mavericks, and I can't help but think that this round should be going in the favor of Royalty, looking at the advantage that they had. But just that previous round, that's the difference between the two teams. You'll see a lot more structured, coordinated attack and aggression coming out from Royalty on that A ramp. You could see the utility support the flashes behind the Mac 10 players moving in, modding out certain spots and remodding out deeper spots to gain more space. That's the approach I was looking for Killer Mavericks to sort of shift into after those 5 round streaks, and they just didn't have it in them or didn't know how to coordinate it within the time that they have. So Royalty have that advantage going for them, and a team like that, a team with this type of protocol, 9 times out of 10 should be winning a matchup. It is the best of one, so you got to watch out. And Glitch delivers, and I was about to say in spades, but gets traded up by Liam. A lot of damage done though, so he's done his job for the round and collected some good information. Mini gonna just try and move in from the flanks, and Chappie, does he respond? Yeah, he did hear that, so trade.
Certainly.
The kill comes out. And Killer Mavericks just, yeah, losing a bit of shape. And you can see the mechanics again, that they're landing the shots and they're moving around quite nicely. But you do need good communication, coordination to ultimately to be winning out, especially in those clutches, those 3 versus 3s. Oh, I thought he hit that shot. That was ambitious.
That was close.
He's gonna keep going. The bomb momentarily should be going down. Still a man advantage, and Ruben's gonna press the issue and move it forward. Good off angle move, and a quick spin. A quick spin. He's a high sense player for sure. One man left, a lot can be with that AWP, and yeah, the call should be him to save that AWP. No money left for the next round. And he goes on eventually to Ruben. Fantastic round from him. 17 to 8. 17 for 8. Good KD. Good KD. 18 for Nan and Chappie. So most of the numbers are coming from the side of Royalty, as you can see. Liam 12 for 18. 3, maybe some half deagles coming out. What?
13
Force.
rounds, yeah. Yeah, they're committing to, I think they're just going for it every round. And unfortunately, that puts them in a tough position to kind of force them to play this aggressive style and to take these fights early on. And it just seems like the patience from Royalty is paying off. We do see a quick 2 frags going the way of Royalty, a 3rd one as well. And this is the kind of disadvantage of playing that sort of style. You just allow the teams to be completely patient and you kind of just punish these mistakes. And ultimately, you put yourself in a position where suddenly a player can just take zones like that and catch you off guard as you're trying to rotate and recover. And again, you've given yourself no chance to going into the 15th or the last or final match point round in terms of beauty, in terms of the plan. And Juicilium 2016, perhaps the dream here. Nope, shut down early. Chappie takes the round. 15 to 6 now. Royalty really showing that they are the better team here. And why they did it go to vertigo. Looked dicey at the start, but recovered well here, and that's exactly what you expect from one of the top tier teams of the region. And you see the purchase come out. Obviously, they have to buy here. Maybe round after this, but we see 1 shotgun. We see that AWP up, so maybe perhaps some impact there from Wrong. I know it was, need someone to stand tall here for the side of Killer Masters. And it does look like they are going to be putting pressure, trying to fight. Oh, quick kill for Wrong, but Another one goes the way of the T's as well. This looks like a fast A burst here for the side of Royalty. They're really moving onto the side quickly, and oh, they breach in, but they are able to trade out equally. Racing trading is good with shotgun, strikes again, and now eventually goes down. 2 versus 2 now. This is the type of trading game that Killer Mavericks has been playing, Tools.
Yeah, this is the opportunity to bring it back. It's going to take a lot of work. They got utility to work with wrong. Picking up the first kill, opening up the scoreboard there. Ruben, lovely off angle. And it's down to Liam. He's had a decent game, Liam. He's given them some opportunity, won them some rounds. So looking to do the same here. And it's Ruben to close it out. 21 for 8. Royalty take it 16 to 8 as well. Strong performance, a dominant one. I didn't really see them in any case, in any world, losing this game, considering after that 5-round streak coming out, they were able to stop it and add some solutions to the problems that they were facing and came out on top. It was eventually the double op system on the CT side coming out and really giving them that advantage. Killer Mavericks didn't really show much besides their aggression in this matchup. I felt like it's the same theme and storyline from the previous game from the Flying Crushers. They have aim, they had mechanics on the T side, they were fast-paced, they were catching the CTs, backpedaling, or catching them off guard. But once they switched sides, they couldn't really put it together. The coordination wasn't there. But ultimately, strong performance from Royalty.
Yeah, I think just to go off the back of that again, like you can critique them as much as possible, but again, these are the better sides that you expect to kind of show or put the type of skill level on display, and ultimately they're just getting the job done there at the end of the day. And you could just look at the individual plays that they had, the aggression. Once they started getting comfortable and confident, the enemies just really had no chance, or no business being in the same server there as them. And it was a confident win nonetheless. I do like to see that these teams have got the structure, because they've seen, like, with a little bit of guidance, as you mentioned earlier in the server, like it's certainly looking bright for African CS:GO on this continent, and it's great to see this level being played across the board. But it's also good to see that the good teams are stepping up, getting their job done, and moving closer towards those playoff stages in the way that Royalty did now. But I mean that's all for me now, Tools.
Yeah, it was great to see Flying Crushers and Killer Mavericks come out and show what they have. It's good to see other countries besides South Africa are really, prospering with talent and some good players to shoot here and there. But at the end of the day, they need a bit more guidance, a bit more structure. And I do think once more leagues like this come about, and maybe the second season, you'll start to see them really come alive and put on a proper showing. Maybe a coach good to help them out. But yeah, the future is bright for South African CS:GO, and I'm very happy about that. But perhaps the desk can just dive in a bit deeper on that and take us through what transpired to that matchup and some highlight rounds. Sure.
Thank you so much, Golds and Lighter. Now, we had quite a game, and I'm sure our analysts will have a lot to talk about. But before we do, let me just remind you one more time for the day about the $50 that is up for grabs to be added to your Steam wallet. All you have to do is go on gaming.lenovo.com. You can either post your favorite clip from the broadcast, or you can go and vote for your favorite team. And while you're there, why not check out for some other offers? So we had quite the game, and it did seem like it was pretty one-sided from Mavericks, and we thought, they were going to win. They were going to take the win, and then suddenly, what happened there? How did they manage to lose that momentum?
You want to know why? What's the reason for Royalty to actually gain such a close first half? Not close, 9-6. But do you know why it went that way?
Tell me.
Chappie had that 4 kill with USP, full eco, on the second round. This is what changed the whole pace of the game itself. Otherwise, they would have been snowballed round by round. It would have been 13-2, 12-3. Chappie did an amazing work. I'll give props up to him, even though his team played really well, but I'll give him props for this round itself. I'll give credit to that round itself. Regarding the T side by Royalty, we've seen a very dominant fashion of controlling a ramp. They have just taken a control like easily. From Mavericks, I haven't seen anything in special, just a little bit mistakes here and there. I would say individual mistakes actually costed them the game. It's individual, but Royalty handled it really well, to be honest. That's my honest opinion.
After such, sorry, after such a comeback, I think the USB round was very important for a reason. Mentally, it boosted their confidence. Winning a full eco round with a USB 4 kills against a full buy eco. So mental, and then yet they lost the third round. They won the first round. Sorry, they lost the first round. They won the second. They lost the third again to an eco. They still built a confidence from the second round by knowing that we won against this team a full buy. We won them with USPs. So imagine what we're going to do with a buy gun, with the buy round. I think it was the key opening for boosting confidence mentally. So it was a very nice round. And GG, hard luck.
This is your hard luck indeed. It was that specific round that just shifted the whole pace of the game. It just moved in Royalty's favor. Was there anything that Mavericks could have done at this point, or do you think it was just completely lost and we just had to wait its course?
Maybe just really study Vertigo more. Because what I've noticed in Mavericks, it's like playing Mirage, to be honest. Seeing them on Vertigo, just trying to play a little bit of individual plays here and there. So I know they have the skill. However, they don't really have that tactical advantage over Royalty. Royalty showed us that they could play together. There is a team-based foundation, which is not really wow, but they it's enough. It's sufficient to actually win this game. They just played simple. They took A-ramp control. I told you this from the beginning. A-ramp control. Once you take it, you control the game, and they did. They controlled A-ramp, and they won rounds by taking control. So, props up to Royalty, to be honest.
All right. Well, good on them for doing the teamwork. As you said, this. I don't know if you guys still agree that this map is teamwork based.
Listen,
Disagree, I dare you.
no, I don't. No, I didn't say it's an individual player. It's not a public map. No, indeed, you need the teamwork. You need to know how to clash with your teammates. You need to know the lineups. You need when to peak, when not to peak, trades. But I was just talking about the aim duels that we've seen a lot from Marvick that they lost, and it cost them a lot of rounds. Can you disagree with that?
No.
And this is what I meant by aim duel. In such a map, you need your aim to be on point. A-ramp is a place you're gonna have a good aim duels with the other player. You need to win these fights. It's gonna get you openings. It's gonna get you the whole side. You never know, but you need to win the aim duels against in A-ramp or in B side.
All right. Well, both teams performed commendably, and in the end, Royalty deserved the win for showcasing their skill, their teammates, their teamwork, and hopefully we'll get to see more of their play style in the future, and they'll work on the things that they lack. But for now, let's take a look at a recap of today's game. So as we know, for the first game, we had Flying Crushers versus VYBN Esports, with VYBN Esports taking the win. And we just witnessed Healer Mavericks, unfortunately, losing to Royalty. They had the momentum in the beginning, but that crucial round, they lost. And unfortunately, the game just shifted completely to the opposing side. And of course, DNMK Esports win by default due to their opponents forfeiting the game. And let's take a look at the prize pool as well, just to remind you how much is on the line, how much we have on stake. It is $12,000 for that first place prize, $5,000 for that second place prize, and $3,000 for third place. So as we said, a lot of money, but it's not just money. Representation, showing off your skills, being placed on the map. A lot of things that people have to prove in this region that is fairly new, we could say. And since we just witnessed Royalty playing their game, how would you compare them to the previous match winners, YBN?
I think Royalty had more, let's say, team-based skills, more than the first match. I would really go with Royalty for the day.
disagree.
My highlight is Royalty.
I totally disagree with
Is someone
You
talking?
disagree,
Can't
Hope?
hear.
No.
I totally disagree with you.
Please tell me, why do you disagree with Sammy?
Because I think the previous team, because they thought they have a
VYBN.
VYBN, they had a better chemistry somehow. Although Royalty did a good comeback, very solid and strong comeback. But I think chemistry-wise, team play-wise, I think VYPN is better. It's two different maps. They didn't play on the same map. I cannot actually judge, but based on Mirage, what we've seen, they did like a lot of retakes. We've seen good retakes, so that's what I actually look for as a team play, because on retakes it shows whether you have a good practice or not.
So if VYBN and Royalty play each other, who wins?
I'm not gonna judge now.
No,
'cause-
judge now.
No, I
Who
can't.
wins?
No,
I'll
I've
say
seen-
Royalty.
You say reality. you've seen
Sammy's
in
feeling
Vertigo.
very competitive right now, so you have to give
We've
us an
seen them in
answer.
You see?
Vertigo. We've seen them
Someone
in
understands
Vertigo.
me now.
We've seen VYPN in Mirage. I want to see now everyone plays on the other map. Make sense?
It makes sense. I'll agree with that.
All right.
I'll give him a chance this time.
Well, the good thing is that we don't have to wait too long to see. Perhaps there'll be a matchup. We don't know. That could happen. And with that, I believe we are ready to end. But I just want to thank Legion by Lenovo for sponsoring this tournament and setting it up and giving the region players a platform to showcase their skills, to show the world that they are here and they are deserving to be in this tournament. So we are so honored to be a part of this tournament. So we'd really like to thank Legion by Lenovo and Sammy, and Hope, if you have anything to say, please do now.
I would like to actually thank everyone who was watching, and Legion by Lenovo, and such an amazing team that I'm working with, especially as well Adam, who's disagreeing sometimes, yet we always come on the same page in the end. So I would actually thank everyone around me who's been supporting me as well. So thank you.
So today's
Everyone.
topic about thanking.
Yes.
Thank you first of all, Archie, for the
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Archie.
listeners
as
and
well.
everyone. And thanks for the viewers for watching and for the teams for giving us a good
And the
game.
casters as well.
And the casters as well.
Right, well, thank you so
Gonna
much for
mention it.
being here. It's really our pleasure to have the analysts and the casters to be part of this tournament as well. And don't be afraid, don't worry, we're coming back tomorrow and we still have a lot more to cover. So make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow's juicy matches as well. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
This here, the stall exists. He doubles up. Can he get the triple?